That was a very suspenseful pause. Hey everybody, it's David Wilson, managing principal of Fund You Up, and welcome to this segment of Ask the Funder. Ask the Funder is where I answer questions that come in from you guys. Social media come in through our website www.fundyouup.com. Social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, what have you. And I answer those questions. The questions are about funding, the funding process, who we fund, how we fund, when we fund, the different ways we fund. So welcome today. Before we get started, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, what have you, wherever you are watching. Let all the business owners let them know to tune in to this segment if they can live, or share it with them, because you may benefit a business owner who needs our type of funding and the ways that we can help. All right, so today's question is about the industries we fund, and it is, in which industries do we have the most success in funding? So in which industries do we have the most success in funding? So a little bit about Fund You Up. We help small, mid-sized businesses get funding. We also help real estate investors get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. So those traditional means usually, so a traditional means might be going to a bank, getting an SBA loan. If those means are not available, that's where Fund You Up comes in, and we can help. So you can see scrolling at the bottom there, you can visit fundyouup.com if you want to get pre-qualified for your business. Usually there are challenges in one of three areas: a challenge with credit. So credit's not good enough to meet traditional funding standards. Challenge with collateral. Either there is no collateral, there's something wrong with the collateral, there's not enough collateral to make the deal work, or a challenge with time, whether it is time in business or time in which the funds are needed. So if you haven't been in business long enough, usually 2 years or more, and you have the financials to back that up, you can qualify for traditional bank financing. If you don't, you can't. If you need the money in short order, let's say a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, most banks, if not no bank, can move that quickly. That's where we come in. We use our network of private investors, private investor groups, specialized banks to fund your businesses when you can't go to a bank and get the funding. Okay, so let's talk about some of those industries. Traditionally, in our in this alternative financing industry, there are some that we've always been able to fund. We've always done that well. And after the pandemic hit, there have been some industries who have kind of stood out. I'd say maybe one for us that has really stood out. We'll get to that one last. So here are some of the industries that we've had great success in funding over the years we've been in business. So we'll start with retail and restaurants. Retail and restaurants, they've been hit by the pandemic. As we start, however, to kind of get back on our feet, reopen. That's starting to change. That's starting to change as restaurants open up more, retailers open up more. We're ready to provide the funding, usually across the board, maybe about $10 million in very short order, 24 to 48 hours to get you funded. IT has been good for us, and I'll get you these. I'll get you these onto the screen so you don't have to write them down. So IT has been really good for us. So information technology, anything computer related, has been a good field for us. Medical field. Let's hold off on medical. We'll save that for last. Government contracting has been good, and that's starting to pick up again as we move through the coronavirus pandemic. These last three have been especially good since the pandemic, and it's because they involve essentials and essentials, and it's important that they maintain cash flow, working capital, and sometimes they don't get paid quickly enough to keep their operations moving forward smoothly. So that would be the medical field for us: dentists, primary care physicians, urgent care urgent care facilities. The second in that group is construction. Construction seemed for us continued to move forward. There were contracts in place. Things continued to be built and continue to be built. So that has been a solid field for us. And lastly, and probably most solidly, home healthcare. So home healthcare agencies, so that send nurses to people's homes to care for them, has been tremendous. We're able to help. We have the capacity to work with many more home healthcare agencies that are looking for funding. Let me go ahead and put these in for you so that you can see them. So those are the last three have been really booming since the pandemic. The others that I gave you are industries that we've always been able to help, probably always will be able to help. Our funding is based on the cash flow of the business. So we look at top line revenue. So how much money is coming into the business in sales, and if that can support the amount of funding you're looking for. General rule of thumb is we can fund what amounts to your average monthly revenue. So, for example, if you're looking for this is general rule, if you're looking for $100,000 worth of funding, generally speaking, your company should be doing about $1.2 million a year annualized. If you're growing to that, if the numbers support it that you're growing to that could work. But if you're looking for $100,000 and your company does $150,000 a year and did $100,000 last year, that's not going to happen because the numbers don't support it. The funds we provide are usually used for working capital. They're used for capital that when companies are waiting to be paid by insurance companies, waiting to be paid by other businesses. They have invoices outstanding, and they just have receivables that they haven't been paid on, and they have to make payroll. They have to buy supplies. They have to fund other contracts. They have to move forward on other agreements that they have, and so that's what our funds are used for. So as you can see, scrolling along the bottom there, if you are in any of these industries and you need funding, go ahead to fundyouup.com and get pre-qualified. There's a button in the top right corner that says get pre-qualified now. Home healthcare, government contracting, construction. We're especially seeing success in landscape with landscapers, HVAC companies, and solar companies. Medical field, dental, primary care, and urgent care. information technology, IT, restaurants, and retailers. If you know colleagues, if you know friends, family in those industries, and they're looking for more funding for their business, send them our way. Be happy to speak with them and see how we can help. We tend to be more hands-on than most of the others in the industry. So it's always going to start with a conversation. We want to make sure everything is clear in the beginning, so that you know what to expect. We want to make sure we understand what your needs are, and what you're looking for, and what your goals are, and what it looks like on the other side of the funding. So once the funding is paid off, now what? So are we a better business than we were before? Not us, but are you, as the client, better after the engagement with us than they were before? That's our goal. That's what we want. We want that for our clients. So we look forward to speaking with you about that. So that answers that question. Those are the industries that we are having and have had the most success in funding. If you have any questions, you can certainly direct them to me on socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and not much you can do on YouTube in terms of asking questions, but you can certainly go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go to our website, fundyouup.com. That's F as in Frank, U, N as in Nancy, D as in David, P as in Peter.com. That's at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across. Share this with someone you know. Share this with someone who you think may benefit from it. Share it with a business banker colleague of yours. So if you know any business bankers, let them know about us, because we're able to help a lot of the businesses they have to say no to, and we can act as a great partner for them, so that we can we're all coming together to help the business community be the best it can be. So thanks for watching. I am David Wilson, Managing Principal of Fund You Up, and you have been watching this segment of Ask the Funder. Have a marvelous day, and I wish you all much safety and prosperity. Have a marvelous day.